Hello my dear friends! Finally, today we're going to start a more serious and complex project. I wanted to carry it out during this summer, but unfortunately a lot of things got in the way. And even when I had a bit of free time, there was always something to stop the progress. At first, the styrofoam was too weak to carry me, then there was a problem with the engine. Well, today we'll try to turn it all around. Also, I'd like to answer a couple of your comments about the videos being too small or too simple. So guys, I used to have more spare time because I had no other major occupations, and I could spend all of my time on YouTube. But now I have another job besides YouTube, so I can't physically manage to do it all at once. So on weekends, as soon as I'll have some spare time, I'll try to start some bigger projects. During the week I will upload short videos, and maybe, as some say, ones that you have seen before. But let's stop going off topic and let me tell you about the thing we're going to work on today. We will try to make a surfboard. It will not be just a simple surfing board, but a motorized one. And I hope it will not turn out like with a Segway. So the first prototype didn't work because simple styrofoam is just not enough to reliably keep someone afloat. Then I took a more dense type of styrofoam that was also too weak. But finally we found so-called graphite foam boards. They float pretty good. Also, we will need a 3 to 4 mm sheet of plywood and some sealing foam. It's better to use the kind that doesn't expand too much, simply functions as glue. Unfortunately, I couldn't find one in my town. So we'll use a simple one but mix it up to make it less foamy. We also will need motors and some other things. I'll try to tell you step by step. Now we will start modeling the shape of the board. By the way, there's a whole bunch of different types of surfboard shapes. For example, fish, short and wide, or gun, longboard, which is generally about 2.5 meters in length and very narrow. But we are going to stick to the fish type. So less talky and more worky. I will cut out the shape, stick the plastic foam on it, and then polish it. So we'll try to go through this part without a lot of commentary. Let's talk about what is happening here and what we're supposed to do next. This is how our surfboard looks. It's not the final version, of course, but if it'll work, we're going to cover it with fiberglass after testing. Now we have to make a deepening here and put a hermetic box. Then we will put the motor and 2 power banks inside of it. There will be a cord linked to the box. I will use an extension cord from a grinder, and we'll use a leg from a Soviet sofa instead of a keel. And at the end of the cable shaft we will attach a propeller. Hello once again, it's the day number 4 of our project. I came back from the city half an hour ago, and on the way I have found a ceiling foam that's not expanding too much. It's made specifically for styrofoam, and also I bought some epoxy. Something I was busy with yesterday was making such a propeller. I cut it out from a body of an old washing machine. I think it looks quite nice. But we'll have to see how it works. On my way home I was thinking wholly about the surfing boards. I promise you guys, I was dreaming of coming back sooner, even skipped a meal, to continue making and testing the boards. That is how much I wanted to finish it today and finally test it. If it works and everything turns out great, I will find time to cover it with fiberglass with no rush. So what about the engine? I thought it will be a good idea to use such a pump that's made for pumping diesel fuel or oil. But after all, I won't use it as is. It pumps over 40 liters per minute. It's not that much. But the point is that the body is too heavy. This part is made out of cast iron, so you can assume what weight it has. I decided to go another way. We will take off this piece. I've already prepared everything, cut the threads and so on. So yesterday I had some work to do. And after all, let me show you what we have. I don't know for sure, but I think this engine should be more than enough to move our surfboard from the spot. It has 200 watts, 2750 RPMs, and it works from 12 volts. So we'll power it, of course, from the power banks. Firstly, guys, I had a plan to use the pump as is. Here it should have been receiving the water, and here it would have been thrown out. And to increase the pressure, I would have used the header for a garden hose. But our tinkering didn't stop there, because it's impossible to use the engine without this part of the pump, as it has no cover. Initially I thought to go to a blacksmith and make a metal plug, but it would require a lot of time and resources. Then I decided to make a homemade cover plug from some firm wood. By the way, this plug is made with the help of our mini lathe that we've made in the previous videos. But it took a lot of time to do, as the wood is very thick and pretty hard to work with. So we're almost there. We just need to connect the motor to the power banks through the waterproof switch. Well, we wanted to do a test yesterday, but the cable broke for the second time. First, the cable from the borer broke. The second cable that we used was from an old automobile. Maybe from some Propeller. So what we did next, we've made some changes to the blueprints. We removed the cable shaft and placed an aluminium pipe instead of that. It contains a few bolts to center it out and also such a peg. It works perfectly, as we've tested it a bit in the swimming pool. Now we've found the nearest river, so let's go for a ride and see how it works. Actually, I'm not yet used to standing normally. Let's try lying on the stomach. Now let's try to do it properly. Mariashka is probably having a great time watching me. There's a lot of different plans. I felt that the motor goes very slow. It's because it's full of seaweed. Whew, we arrived. It was beyond awesome, guys. Very, very cool. And also relatively cheap, which is also important. It took some improvised materials, some odds and ends, except for the motor and a couple of power banks. In general, it turns out great. So if you liked our video, be sure to press the thumbs up. Also, if you'll support and share this video, we will do another video on tuning and upgrading these boards. Here's the hermetic box. As you see, nothing is leaking. One power bank and another. We have been using this one, the battery got a bit low. We can remove it simply, like that. And we can replace it with this one. That's it. The second power bank. Connect it. And then shut it with the lid. That's it. You should press the gas more when you turn around.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
See ya!